Hello everybody, and welcome to your new moon video for the new moon of the 25th of May 2017. The moon will be new in Rohini Nakshatra, and the exactitude of the new moon will take place for you astrology nerds out there who have to know it down to the precise second. Well, I'm not going to tell you down to the precise second. I'm just going to tell you to within like a minute or so. Approximately 8:44 p.m. on the 25th of May. And you can find out where that is in your time zone by looking up online and just kind of going from UK time. If you don't know UK time, you can just say London time, and it's just as easy as that. And it'll show where the time will be in your particular time zone, if you can do a little math. Okay, while we're talking about math, what is the square root of 2026? There, 2026. It's going to come up with another fancy number, but I couldn't come up with it. No, really, what I want to talk to you about today is something that's just about as frustrating as math, right? Which is when you're trying to create a change in your life, right? You're trying to affect a change and things are at the seed stage, right? Only thing is they've kind of been at the seed stage for a really long time, and you kind of go, well, gee, how long do I have to hold on to these seeds before these seeds can blossom, right? And are these seeds going to be any good for me by the time I'm ready to plant them? And really, are these seeds going to grow anything at all, right? And you begin to feel just like things are just kind of, going round and round in circles and not really getting anywhere, right? So, what do you do? What do you do when you've got a round peg and you've got a square hole, right? And you're trying to get that round peg in that square hole. It's not fitting. What are you going to do, right? Well, what you're going to do is you're going to get the hammer and you're going to hammer that round peg until it fits in the square hole. The only thing is it keeps bouncing out, or you hit your thumb with the hammer, and that really sucks. And you don't want that to happen over and over again. Otherwise, you get a sore thumb. And if you got to plant those seeds, you need a green thumb, not a sore thumb, not a red one, right? So you got to do something about that, because otherwise, you're just going to end up not getting anything done. So what do? You hit harder. And still not getting anywhere, right? So what do? Well, you could try maybe, taking something and shaving that round peg, making it a little more square, might fit. And it's not necessarily that you've got all the wrong bits in order to shift this situation on. As a matter of fact, you might even have the right ones, but it's not the right time. And you can try to make it the right time because you feel like it's the right time, and you go, it's got to be the right time because the only time that it can be the right time is now, because if I stay with this particular set of circumstances any longer, I'm just going to go, rah! Okay, and that's not going to be any fun, right? But the only thing is you're going, rah, anyway. And, your voice is getting raw. Like mine earlier when I first did this video. This is the second time I've recorded it. So see, I know what I'm talking about. You try to make a round peg squint into a fair hole. I think fit into a square hole is what I'm trying to say. But you see, I can't even say that, and I'm getting frustrated, right? So it's like, what use is it, right? So you have to adapt to the situation. You have to adapt to the situation, because you're not going to maybe get what you want right this very moment. And, that frustration on a certain level is good, because it's kind of showing you how fed up you are with something, right? and that maybe a change has been long overdue. But that's still not going to change the fact that, what you're trying to change, it's just not going to change in this particular moment. And the reason it's not going to change it is there's a little bit of adaptation that needs to happen. And on a certain level, that's one of the things that Rohini is all about. Rohini fosters things. It fosters growth. But when something's growing, it's not fully produced, is it? Right? And when something's growing, it goes through a lot of different stages. Like, think about those seeds. At one moment, they're a seed. Next moment, they're sprouting above the ground. After that, they've got the wind blowing against them. Like first, drought that comes along, that seed can die. Too much rain, that seed can die. So you got to have the right sets of circumstances in place, right? And so maybe what you're doing right now is you're adapting your set of circumstances so that when that moment is right, you're going to have something that's stronger, something that's ready, and something that's going to be much more powerful than what could otherwise be so. Now, this particular new moon takes place in close proximity to Mars, and Mars is in Mrigashira Nakshatra, and with Mars in Mrigashira Nakshatra, it's got you filled with this pining, this longing, this desire for fulfillment in the actions that you're trying to take to shift things, but things are not shifting, and that frustration sometimes feels a little bit like it's too much to deal with. And all of these planets are also directly opposite Saturn in the sky, and Saturn's in Mula Nakshatra, which is strongly trying to push up against the resistance, using its passion, trying to find a breakthrough. But rather than breaking through, things are just kind of breaking, right? And that's not getting you anywhere either. And in addition to this, you've got some aspects that are going on from Jupiter to Mercury that's got you kind of facing this struggle, adapting, and realizing and recognizing that you've got to let some things go in order for things to move on. Mercury's in Bharani Nakshatra, which is kind of helping and assisting with that particular process, showing you what works, what doesn't work, getting rid of all the things that don't really fit with the situation, and shifting you on, or beginning to set things in motion to shift you on to a new set of circumstances where things can actually be more productive. So, the long and short of it, what do you do with this frustration? Well, you let yourself get frustrated, right? But only to a certain degree. Only to the degree that that frustration becomes productive. The moment that you kind of find yourself going against a brick wall, you need to stop, or you're going to get a headache, right? Same thing with trying to bang that round peg into a square hole. You got to stop at some point, right? Instead, look at what might be wrong. Just a few adjustments here and there can make all the difference in the world, right? And this new moon cycle sets you in good place to be able to do that very thing. Now, this is going to affect everybody in a different part of their life. So if you'd like a little bit of information on how to work with these particular new moon energies, or anything else at all in your life, please do feel free to visit my astrological services page. You should see a link up above, either this side or that side. I always forget which side it comes up on. If you follow that link, it'll take you to my astrological services page, where you can schedule the astrological service of your choice. That's going to do it for your new moon video for the new moon of the 25th of May, 2017. Until next time, please do take the very best care of yourself. Bye now.